Well, the beauty of a nice GPS system is that it's got in it lots of hotels, and I've just found one on the road ahead. It's a Best Western. They had dozens of them. The first one was an Ibis that I rang. They don't have any space left in Regensburg. It's just past 11 o'clock when I started looking. Within 8 minutes I'd found a Best Western in Regensburg, and this also now is going to take me to the door. The value of these things is, not to be underestimated, and even though it's about 6 years old now, the telephone numbers of most of these hotels remain unchanged, which is fantastic. It's still relevant. Obviously I've got even more up-to-date stuff in the phone, but I don't have roaming in Germany, because still in the European Union we don't have a roaming situation like we should have, where it's European Union-wide roaming for data without any additional costs. You should be able to have European Union-wide data packets buyable, but unfortunately that doesn't exist, unlike in the States where you get United States-wide data packets, and even I know Americans that have got worldwide data packets. We don't have that, but we've got these things and they're fantastic. Okay, so I got into this Best Western hotel. It's got a king-size bed, but unfortunately it doesn't come with king-sized amounts of pillows, etc., which is a bit of a chiz. I would have liked a bit more pillowishness and stuff than just that, but it's a warm enough room, I suppose I'll make do with it. I like a couple of things I can get a bit more support, Anyway, trying to get through this great big mosquito net of a thing. It's just an industrial park, this, in Regensburg. Don't expect a view of the cathedral if you come to the Best Western. But then it's not expensive for what is effectively, well, they call it a 4-star hotel, but I think it's a bit much. Yeah, what do? They give you a couple of glasses and a bottle of Gerolsteiner, natürliches Mineralwasser, and then they say kostenlos für Sie, not just free, they say it's free for you. That's just in case anybody should think, well, it's free but not for me, I'm not good enough for things that are free. They actually point out that it is für Sie kostenlos. Wir haben dafür bezahlt, aber Sie müssen das nicht. We have paid for it, but you don't have to. Herzlich willkommen. Lassen Sie sich von uns verwöhnen. That's right, that's Verwöhnung. Deutscher Stil von Verwöhnung ist Wasser zu bekommen. Let us give you a treat. Let us give you a treat. There you go. Water, it's a treat. A cup of cold water is a real treat. It's not the standard that even a 2-star hotel would have, which it is in Poland. In Germany that counts as a big, big treat. Okay? So, another treat is if you were to get soaps, like normal soap, but they don't have that treat. Instead they have this rationed out funny thing that does for shampoo, soap and everything, yeah? And they stick it a long, long way away from the shower. Oh, there's another one in the shower. Credit where credit's due. That's not as bad as it gets. Gets worse than that. 2 toilet rolls, so that's not too bad. I feel like probably taking one of them because they're not giving enough other shit. But well, I've already got one for another hotel. I think it was the Best Western as well. Or was it not? Can't remember. Right, one good thing though. Even though this is virtually empty, it's just got a laundry bag in it and some thingies. It does have Das Neue Testament, the New Testament, Le Nouveau Testament, Die Gideons. Yes? So there you have it, the Gideons. This book is not to be sold. If you desire to contact Gideons in this area, please consult the local telephone directory. That's interesting. I wonder, I haven't seen a telephone directory in some time. The things in the Bible are usually still up to date, but I'm not sure the bit about the telephone directory is up to date. But then they added that bit in afterwards. Okay, there's a telephone here though, with various things on. Not that I'm expecting to use it. These days you can safely pay for your hotel the night before, because who's going to use the telephone when everybody's got a mobile phone? It'd be silly to do it. Probably nobody does it these days. Any other interesting tidbits? Any explanations for how we're supposed to use the towels? No, it's gone out of fashion, hasn't it? That explaining to people what they're supposed to do with their towels in order to save the planet. That seems to have gone completely out of fashion. Maybe something. Oh yes, at least there's the old faithful Fluchtwegplan, emergency exits, to tell you how to get out of the hotel if there's a fire. In case of fire, do not use the elevator. That's interesting because you couldn't use it anyway. It's actually out of action. And the lady did warn me of that before when I phoned up. She said, will you be able to make it to the first floor? I mentioned that I'd like a slightly larger bed because I'm not a small person. And then she was kind enough to ask if I'd actually be able to walk up a flight of stairs because the lift was out, which is a fair thing, I suppose. But I just found that last night I was continually waking up because I was afraid of falling out of the bed because it was so narrow where I was in Bratislava, even though it spoke so many stars, and there were 2 beds, but they weren't together, they were separate. This is going to be big enough for me to be able to stretch out a bit, which is good, but there's a little bit paucity of the old bedding. That's not so brilliant, in my opinion, and it would all be fine if there was more of it available in these cupboards, but as you can see, they're not doing it, are they? They're really, this is not what I call Bavarian Gangnam style. This is not what I expect really in Germany. I don't know why I bothered saving myself to Germany to come to a hotel. I could have gone in Austria and probably got more bedding. Never mind.